fans, once again, it is me, the Horror Miser Monty G. As I continue my Resident Evil film series, it's time to review the next one in the series. It's called Resident Evil Afterlife. Now, Resident Evil Afterlife is a 2010 action horror film. It was written and directed by Paul W.S. Anderson. Again, it is based upon the video game by Capcom. It stars Mila Jovovich, she's back once again, Ali Lauder, Wentworth Miller, and Sean Roberts. Yes, this is the fourth film in the franchise. I believe it's the fourth film. I might be wrong. Yeah, and Paul W.S. Anderson returns back into the director's chair after not directing the previous two films. Is that good or bad? Well, let's see what I have to say about Resident Evil Afterlife. While still out to destroy the evil Umbrella Corporation, Alice joins a group of survivors living in a prison surrounded by the infected, while also trying to escape to the mysterious but supposedly unharmed saved haven known as Arcadia. That's basically what the plot in the film is about. So here we go. We're now into the fourth entry into the Resident Evil film series, and Paul W.S. Anderson returns to the director's chair. Well, of course, Mila Jovovich returned as Alice, along with Ali Lauder as Claire Renfield, and we get game favorite Chris Redfield, Claire's brother, introduced into this film along with Albert Wesker. Yes, Chris and Albert are here in this particular film. However, despite adding Chris and Albert into this film, along with some decent set pieces and some action scenes that rival The Matrix, the film still suffers the same problems that the other films that Anderson has directed. We have bad dialogue, logic gaps, and plot inconsistencies. I will give one credit is that Anderson, the one credit I will give Anderson, that the film is entertaining at times, and it does satisfy some Resident Evil fans. You add Chris and Albert Wesker into the film, but it's not enough for the casual horror fan. It's just simply just same old, bad acting, bad dialogue, bad plots, consistencies. This guy simply just doesn't know what he's doing with these films. Now, after an exciting opening scene where we see Attack of the Alice clones, you remember them from the end of Extinction, and some nice Matrix action scenes. Yeah, we do get that nice slow-mo action scenes during the beginning of this film. Alice heads towards Alaska to reunite with Claire, Kmart, and the rest of the survivors from the previous movie. Now, after encountering an amnesiac Claire, they land on the rooftop of a prison in the ruined city of Los Angeles, where they encounter a group of survivors that include Claire's brother Chris. They decide to join forces and head to Arcadia, which turns out to be a ship, before the infected can breach into the prison. Now, as I stated earlier, I'll give Anderson credit on how well the set pieces he uses in his film. From the opening scene where the Alice clones attack the Umbrella Underground headquarters in Japan, I thought that was nicely set up, to the prison building in Los Angeles, to the Arcadia ship. Anderson does a good job on how vast and huge they are. It's very wide open, it's very set up, it's very nice looking. This sets up decent Matrix-style fighting scenes with the Alice clones in the beginning of the film. I did like the action scenes. I like how they're filmed. Now, we also get some decent fighting scenes in the prison as well, but for some reason, it's all done in slow motion. Not that I don't have a problem with it. It seems like Anderson is in love with this type of filming during the fight scenes. It's like almost every fight scene is done in slow motion. Not that I have anything against it, but something must have happened during filming where he had to use the slow motion. I don't know if during the editing process that whoever did the editing didn't look right, didn't feel right, so he decided to do everything in slow motion. There had to be a reason why he did it. Very few fight scenes are actually normal film style. Everything else is slow motion, from the big axe guy that we see in the shower scene fighting with Claire, from Alice jumping off on the roof when all the zombies come up off top of the roof of the prison. It's all done in slow motion. Now, one of the problems I have with this movie is all the characters look like they just stepped off of the red carpet, but only changed into the costumes that they would wear in the movie. Everyone looks pretty and cute and handsome. It's like, ooh, wow. All the women in the film, other than Spencer Locke, look like they just came out of a beauty shop or spa instead of spending weeks trying to survive in a zombie apocalypse. They shouldn't look as cute and pretty and glamorous as they all do. For example, none of the women in The Walking Dead don't look as gorgeous as Alice, Claire, and Crystal. Now, I'm not saying that the women in The Walking Dead are ugly. It's just that they look haggard. They look dirty. They look like they haven't slept in I don't know how many days. They don't look like they got their hair done. I mean, their eyebrows are done, got lipstick. They all look beautiful. They don't look haggard. They don't look they've been on the road for I don't know how long. I mean, how long they are. I mean, that's the whole. That doesn't look right. I mean, yeah, you want your stars to look good, but you don't want them to look like they're glamorous, like they just stepped off of a red carpet. That doesn't. That makes it already unbelievable when you're looking at some of the ladies in this film. And once again, Anderson writing doesn't give the plot any justice. I mean, it's your standard, we got to get to that place cliche storyline that we've seen in other zombie movies. It's like, well, we got to go west, we got to go east, no, we got to get to the ship, no, we got to get to the pubs. You know, it's just your typical cliche, we got to get to that place zombie movie that we've seen in other zombie movies. I mean, another problem is there's no tension, there's no suspense, or any type of tone whatsoever in the movie. I mean, we simply don't care about any of the survivors since Anderson doesn't build any type of character development. Yeah, we're happy to see Chris, but, you know, there's nothing to make us, wow, man, that actually did that to Chris. We never seen that happen in the games. But Anderson just, hey, let's just throw this guy here. We'll throw in Chris. We'll throw in Albert Wesker just to make the fans of the games happy. But he really doesn't do anything with them to make us care about them, and especially the other characters in the film. We all know most of them will just be fodder for the zombies or other monsters in the movie. Now, despite the weak script, Mila Jovovich is fine once again as Alice. She knows that Alice is a badass that can kick any zombie's ass, and that's basically what she does in this movie right here. I mean, she still has a caring nature, even though Anderson's script doesn't allow her to show it in this one at all. She's just there. She spits her line. She looks cute. She looks great. Got the nice outfit and kicks ass. That's basically what she does in this movie. Unfortunately, the rest of the cast are either flat or aren't given enough to give their characters any juice. Ali Lauder, only job in this movie is to look pretty, has some decent action scenes from the hangman from Resident Evil 5, because that's basically what we see in this particular movie. Is we do have creatures that came from Resident Evil 5, especially in the shower scene, where she, you know, again with the slow motion and some nice decent matrix moves, but she looks pretty well doing. She looks pretty well doing it too. Veteran character actor Wentworth Miller from Prison Break does what he can with Chris Redfield, but unfortunately Anderson's script doesn't give him anything to do other than to look mean and point a gun everywhere. The only good thing he does in the film is the fight scene that he has with Wesker, which come right out of the scenes from Resident Evil 5, only except it's Claire, not Jill in this one. Sean Roberts doesn't do anything at all with Wesker other than being the cliched villain. And again, I just blame Anderson's poor writing here. He's just there. He tries to sit static. He tries to talk like Wesker in the video game, but, you know, he's just there. The really only interesting character I liked was Kim Coates playing Bennett St. Clair. And he's always good at playing sneaky characters like St. Clair. He's the only character that I like in this particular movie. Also, don't expect any type of gore or blood in this one because there's nothing here. I mean, come on now. This is supposed to be a zombie movie. Gotta see some gore and some blood. We do get some nice zombie effects, similar to the Majani in Resident Evil 5, and zombie dogs whose heads split apart, but that's about it. Most of the effects are just terrible CGI, nothing scary or frightening, nothing. Blah, stupid. So, despite some entertaining fight scenes, this is where the series begins its downward spiral. Once again, it's just poor Paul W.S. Anderson. He really doesn't know how to write the script. We have a lackluster script, we have flat acting, logic gaps, and no character development. Makes this a very disappointing movie. So, I'm going to give Resident Evil Afterlife 1.5 out of my 5 bloody gold coins. It's going to get 1.5 out of my 5 bloody gold coins. Yeah, other than the fighting scenes that we get in the early part of the movie and in the shower scene or some of the stuff that Alice does, That's about it. This is just a disaster. It's just a poor excuse. And like I said, it's when the series begins its downfall because it doesn't get any better than this one. And so that is my review and video for Resident Evil Afterlife. What did you think about it? Did you enjoy the fighting scenes and the kind of Matrix? Did you like Attack of the Alice clones? Leave your comments down in the comment section and tell me what you thought about Resident Evil Afterlife. Now, also, if you did enjoy this video, please like and share. And if you're new here, please hit that subscriber button and ring that notification bell. That way you'll be notified anytime when I put up new videos such as this one. Also, all my social media links will be in the description box below as well. Once again, my name is Lamont Smith, better known as the Horror Miser Monty G. And always remember, horror rules. I'll see you in my next video. I'm out.
You're all going to die down here.